Yeah.
There's another Judge Joe Brown or something.
Oh, hello there. It's November the 11th. You're very welcome to The Daily Show on the day that we got our 9th president.
Yes, co-host Michael D. Higgins, our guest today, has a career which has seen him gig with some of the world's biggest names. He's a singer, songwriter, actor, artist, and I could go on. Gavin, Friday, you're very welcome to the show.
Thanks for joining us. It's great to see you. And we're going to take a look now at Gavin in his early years with the band The Virgin Prince.
And was wondering if the man had done a great or little thing when a voice behind me whispered loud, "Start to swing! The Virgin!" And the sky above my head became like a candle of scorching steel.
You've chilled out a small bit since.
I got a lot off my chest.
Certainly
when
did.
I was young, yeah.
I'm sure it reminds you of good times, though.
And bad times.
In part.
Yeah. I think that was our second television appearance, and it was the weekend that Hope was in Ireland. I think we did the Late Late Show on Friday, and he did his big gig in the Phoenix Park on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And we got banned from R.T.E. for about a year after that.
That's great. It's always great to be banned again. Well, you're going to stay with us for the evening.
I am.
Lovely stuff. Also, coming up in a few moments, why do we get back on the field?
You're very welcome back. It's Friday the 11th of November and you're starting your weekend with The Daily Show.
In just a few minutes, Paddy McKenna has some great box sets to keep you entertained through the weekend.
Before we chat to Paddy, singer, songwriter, actor and artist Gavin Friday has been with us throughout today's show.
Let's take a look at the music video for the song Abel from his new album, Catholic. Tied to you there, was he?
Rubber bands. It was a bit of a workout. Not very pleasant.
So when you moved, he was moving with you?
Yeah, and he bashed the face off me. I looked like a sort of plum tomato for a week.
We love the music, though.
Yeah.
We both really like that track. It's moved on a lot for you, hasn't it? I mean, it's been 16 years.
16 years since the Gavin Friday solo album, yeah.
But a lot seems to have changed listening to where you're at now. Changed in your life and changed in the world. They both influenced you?
Yeah, I mean, the world has changed hugely in the last 15 years, as we all are feeling it now. But yeah, I mean, I turned 50 about 2 years ago. In the last 10 years, you know, a long-term relationship ended. Father died, I got ill, so a lot of heavy stuff. And you sort of have to come to terms with that in life and move on, but in a positive way rather than becoming a victim. And that was sort of an inspiration for the album, was about loss and love and not grieving about it, but like
celebrating it.
Yeah, owning it and moving on and like, I mean, that happens to everyone in life, by the way. It's part of life.
But you, as you say, you have to deal with it yourself first, or the loss of the relationship and your dad, and you've been sick as well, and then, okay, I've dealt with all this now, okay, how am I going to put this into some positive music? Yeah, and that's what I really see music as. In general, even though I was a young man, as you showed earlier, I was an angry young man. Yeah. And music for me is an expression and a way of life. It isn't just, you know, diddly diddly or here's a rock song. Yeah. It's in my bloodstream, and it's. But it's good. You know, so you said you were angrier when you were younger and it came out through music. Did you feel better after singing songs like that? Did you get stuff, as you said earlier, stuff off your chest? I still am a bit more angry. I still am angry, but no, it's just a release. I can't understand why a lot of young bands aren't angry now. Yeah. Young kids like 17, 18, as I was then. I mean, look what we're being dealt with, and look at the economics of the world. If there was a time for punk rock, it would be now. Yeah.
I mean, it may emerge, though, Gavin, do you think? Because up until very, very recently, there wasn't much to be angry about for people of that age. Maybe, now, another 3-4 years of this. And the Virgin Prunes revival will happen. But I think nowadays you have the industry coming to the artists. Okay, this is what we want as an industry. This is what we want from you. Where you were there when you were younger. Okay, I'm angry. These are my expressions. And you go to the music company or the
Yeah, or independent records was then. Yeah, I mean, it's a very different thing. What's so sad about the music industry is that it's completely corporate and everything's channeled towards teenagers. And even the movies, like 70% of movies are all about kids and sales and not about the content. And, you know, there's people in their 30s, 40s, 50s and 60s like music, but media, radio, TV isn't catering for that. They're all going for the kids and the money.
Well, we have a look at the cover of your album and you can explain to us
what
it's all about. Not at all, not at all. It's great to see that you still have your virgin prune spirit is still there. This is the cover of the album, Catholic. Where did the inspiration for that come from? Because it's quite stark. I mean, it's...
I think it's quite beautiful. My ma, I said this before, my ma said, oh, Jesus, you're 50. And you're still looking for attention. It came from the word Catholic. I call the album Catholic, nothing to do with the religion, but the true essence of the word Catholic is universal for all men, with lowercase c, for all men, unbiased, which is very unlike what the Catholic Church is. And I had called it that, and I went to an exhibition in the Hugh Lane Gallery around the same week the IMF were in town. And there was something about our sovereignty and everything sort of collapsing and what is it to be Irish. And I saw this amazing exhibition by Sir John Lavery, and it was all the great statesmen and heroes just post the Civil War. And I saw this painting of Michael Collins laid in state. And I said, we either killed or got rid of our great men and then handed the flag over to the church in De Valera. So it's sort of me sort of reviving that spirit of like, be Irish, be proud and move on, but not in a sort of Bord Fulcher way, in a real way.
Yeah.
In a Gavin Friday way.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does. No, it does. It does. And it's very interesting to hear the explanation of the original meaning of the word Catholic, which is
and
as you said, it's very different.
It is very different, and you know, I find that image quite romantic. I'm not dead, I'm just sleeping.
Yeah.
Not according to your mother, she thinks you're lovely.
I suppose when people, they had tough times around the country for the past couple of years, and we're going to have a couple of tough years ahead. When yourself and Bono and the lads in the 80s were growing up, it was something similar, wasn't it?
The 70s and 80s were pretty rough. In many ways, maybe a little rougher, because a lot of people are having a hard time, but a lot of kids still have their PlayStations and stuff. So this, you know, I'm generalizing. I'm sure it's very hard for some people, but yeah, I mean, we came from a working class background and lived in a recession. Yeah.
Notwithstanding that people are having it tough, do you think it's better to have, for creativity, to have a leaner time of it?
Well, sort of look at what we creatively threw up in our so-called boom. Riverdance, Westlife, Boyzone. I mean, who? You look a little there, you know, the cultural, the difference between sort of like even the music that came out. I mean, you two are sort of eternally there.
Not an X Factor fan then, I take it?
You know what, I've watched it. I'm a big fan of Jedward.
Yeah, we're big fans of Jedward.
You know, I actually think that's what you do when you're 18. You act the mick. Yeah. You know, you have a fun. No, it's just overblown, and it's just... It's boring. And it's good TV sometimes.
Yeah, it was entertaining TV for a while. I think maybe now it's past its sell-by date a little bit. For me, anyway, watching it this year. But
and it's not about music. It's just about sitting in and eating and drinking and texting.
You gave Bono his name.
But Googie and myself, yeah.
You gave Bono his name, but he gave you a big 50th birthday party.
He came up with the idea for a 50th birthday party.
No, there's 50th birthday parties and there's 50th birthday parties.
Yeah.
This was huge.
It was...
Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall.
Lou Reed. Who else was there?
It was... The idea... I always had this... I said in some interview years ago that, what would you do before you're 50? I said, I'd love to play Carnegie Hall. They had remembered that, and he asked me around the time of Googie's 50th, my friend Googie, what are you going to do for your 50th? I said, oh, something low-key. And he says, no, you're going to be playing a gig. It's for charity. And all the people who influenced you and you've influenced are all going to guest and do a tribute to your songbook and the work you worked on. So Lou Reed, Rufus Wainwright, U2, Scarlett Johansson. One of my favourites was Joel Grey from Cabaret. Because that was one of the first things as a little boy. I saw him on Cabaret, and he came on and sang and danced. It was quite extraordinary, and they were all doing my songs, which was quite nice. I wouldn't allow you to play as a band. I said they all had to play individually.
So. You were calling the shots that night.
I was, yeah.
Gavin, thank you very much for coming in today.
Thanks a lot, and best of luck with the new album, Catholic.
And Gavin's new album, Catholic, is out now, and Gavin will be playing at Dolan's in Limerick on Saturday, November 26th, and he'll be playing Dublin's Olympia Theatre Tuesday, the 29th of this month.